Sometimes we may need to retrieve a random set of rows from a table or a query to identify a random sample for a research study, etc. One of the easiest way is to use the R&D function with a top values query. The R&D function returns a random number greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1. Add a new column to your query, fill it with a list of random numbers, sort the random numbers, and retrieve the top n rows where n is a number between 1 and the number of rows in the underlying data. On the Create tab in the Queries group, click on Query Design, add the table orders, add the required fields. In the field row, right-click an empty column and then click on Zoom in the shortcut menu. Create a new column random ID and use the R&D function to fill it with random numbers. Select descending in the sort row. Run the query. Same value is returned in all the rows. The function is called for each row. Access tries to optimize such a function call and will call it only once for the entire set of data, unless the function call involves a field in the data. Access query engine thinks that the function has nothing to do with the data in the query, so it calls the function only once. This makes the random number meaningless, as the whole point of using a random number is to generate a different one for each row. The workaround is simple. You can pass an optional number argument to R&D function. Pass a field, any field, which contains a numeric value as a parameter to the R&D function. Or pass the field containing text through the len function and then use that expression in the R&D function. Now Access calls the function once per row, passing to it the field you specify in the expression, and different random numbers are returned. In this example, pass order ID to the R&D function. Run the query. Each row has a different random number. The data is sorted based on the random ID column. Now set the top value property of the query to return the number of records you want. In the Query Design tab, click on Property Sheet. The Property Sheet window opens. To display query properties, click anywhere in the design window. Change the top values property to number of records you want to return. For example, to return 100 records, enter 100. Uncheck the show box for random ID column to hide that column. Run the query to get a completely random data. You can also return a certain percentage of records. In the property sheet, change the top values to %, for example, 5%. Run the query. The query returns 5% of the records. Rerunning the query, switching the view state, or sorting the data set will result in a different set of random records. If you want to perform analysis on an established set of random records that won't change, you will need to run this query as a make table query in order to create a hard table. Click on Make Table, name the table Sample Data, click on Run. A new table Sample Data is created with the random records. To download example Access file, please click on the link in the description. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.